all of you VIPKID applicants, or all of you going through the whole interview process right now. It's probably really crazy, as it was for me. I just got done surviving all of it. I wanted to share some tips with you, something that could help you go through the interview process without thinking about everything and just focusing on a few important details. After all of it, I basically came up with about 8 tips that I want to share with you. Get a pen and paper or just listen to this video, and I'm also going to share a few bloopers with you as well. My first mock class was pretty, yeah, you'll see. Here it goes. Number 1, you do have to have a background for your first mock class. I wasn't clear on this point because of some of the emails that had been sent out and the way things were phrased in the email. So just remember, for your first mock class, you do have to have a background set up, like your classroom. And there's also a video down below to how to set up your classroom in a quick and easy way. That's basically what I did. I didn't have a lot of time to set up my classroom, and I found a nearby store that had a few supplies that really helped. But the whole point is just to do it really quickly without having to invest a lot of time or cash. Number 2, stick to the objectives. You'll notice a lot of different YouTube videos that help you with the demonstrations of how to teach, and all of that is really, really good. There are some great videos out there, and they did help me. But I think sometimes when we're preparing for the interview, we're thinking about it more like a performance. And what you really should do, what is most important, just remember to stick to the objectives. So at the very bottom of the PPT, it tells you exactly what they would like you to teach. So focus on that first, and then think about doing the teaching part your way. Instead of thinking about how to teach, watching different YouTube videos, or thinking of your whole mock class as a performance, really just pay attention to the objectives. And then while you are focusing on the objectives and thinking about teaching or what to teach, then the performing will come naturally, or what you should do, like using TPR and demonstrations, and I will get to that as well. Basically, just stick to the objective first and think of how to teach it or the performance later. I hope that made sense. That was a big one, because here's what happens if you think about performing too much and forget about the objective. So here it goes. This is a real mock class blooper.
E, 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 E.
And again, same thing. If you're thinking too much about what you have to do, you can forget the most simple things and screw up in ways that you probably wouldn't think were possible. Here it goes again.
So China is a country with many people, a place where people are. Sorry, I'm losing concentration.
And yeah, those were not acted out. That actually happened. Number 3, use props where you can, especially for the first part of the mock class, the beginner level. So for example, here, if you're telling the student to draw a line, instead of repeating, draw a line, or anything like that, or demonstrating with your hands, the best thing to do wherever you can, less speaking, more demonstrating. So you can say, oh, please draw a line like this. And you show them. So instead of speaking, especially for the beginner class, you do it, you demonstrate, instead of just telling them. This is very important, especially for the first part of the mock class, the beginner class. Same thing, if you want them to circle something, don't do this like circle, or just simply hold up something to make it easy for you and your student, and then simply do circle. Circle, using minimal language. They don't want you to use any extra incidental language, or what we refer to as incidental language. So the less you speak, the better. The best thing to give instructions is to use demonstrations. This is what I found to be true. Number 4, something else that's very important for the beginner class. Let's say you're teaching big X and small x. You want to say big X, or do this, big X and small x, or small, or something like that. They really appreciate if you make it lively. Again, demonstrations, and of course TPR, we'll get to that too. Demonstrations, making it as lively as possible. Again, doing it your way, sticking to the objectives, but doing it your way. Number 5, when I had my mock class, my mentor was really strict about using incidental language, and being used to teaching higher level English students, I couldn't help it. It was just habit. I would say more than was really necessary. So this is where the demonstrations really come in and help you. The best way to avoid incidental language is to train yourself from the beginning. So in the beginning, when you start the mock class, the best thing that we can do is keep it very simple. You ask the student, like, how are you? And like, nice to meet you. And you just kind of keep it at that. Try not to speak more or make it any more complicated than it needs to be. Number 6, a big one, and I think you'll see this one mentioned in a lot of other YouTube videos, is when you're mentioning the letters or teaching the letters like M and L, make sure to not say M or L or ma or la. Make sure that the student really understands that it is When you're teaching M and L or any other letter, make sure not to add a vowel when pronouncing it. So not L or la. You have to say They're very strict about this, and it will affect your mock class evaluation if you make this mistake, which a lot of us did. Number 7, don't forget to use TPR. The best way to not forget is probably just to practice before your mock class. Anytime you're saying anything, to train yourself to use lots of hand movements, but not these, of course, but the ones that VIPKID demonstrate. Like, how are you? Something like this. Something simple, but to help you not forget to do it during class, it's probably good that it becomes like second nature. So the best thing you can do is just practice maybe 2 or 3 times before the mock class so that you are doing it without having to think about doing it. Because for the VIPKID mock class, we have to keep a lot of things in mind. The more things you can just make second nature, the easier it will be for you, and the less flustered you'll be, like me, the less chance for bloopers you will have. But bloopers are kind of funny. They make good videos. And finally, number 8, remember to use a reward. So I found these really cool smiley faces at a nearby shop. And what I did during my mock class, anytime the student had a good answer, I would say something like, yeah, good job. Show them the smiley face, or like, you get a smiley face. And I would like stick it to the wall, to the back of the background of my classroom. And then towards the end of the class, we had a bunch of smiley faces piled up in the back. Okay, I hope this helps. Check out the links to all of my other videos. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to post questions under the video. I really wish I had had this video before my mock class. It would have prevented a lot of mistakes, and it would have just narrowed it down for me. And I wouldn't have to think about everything. I could have just focused on the points that were important. All the other demonstration videos, I think they're great, but I wish there was something to have narrowed it down, because I think during this whole process, we get way too overwhelmed with all of the information. If you stick to just these points, you'll be fine. And of course, practice a little before the mock class. Okay, I hope this helps you all. Good luck, everybody. Hope to see you at VIPKID soon. Bye.